So Supernova is one of my favorite companies. They are responsible for one of my favorite looks ever, which is my Cruella de Vil look. And so they hit me up. And said, hey, we have this new LY lace, which is a tinted lace that is really thin. So it's equivalent in a way to HD lace. The only difference is it comes in a color as opposed to transparent. So I said, okay, let's kind of see. I know you guys are looking for something new. And for me, I'm always trying to find something that's going to make my job a little bit easier. So it's like a body wave texture. So I went and bleached the knots. We skip over that because we all know how that goes. And I went through, parted it off, and I decided to just, I straightened it. As you can see, the knots came out great. And then I just decided to go ahead and crimp it, simply because crimps are really easy, a really quick and easy way to add texture to hair that you're doing. Sometimes what happens is you'll get hair, as you can see, this is what it looks like after I washed it. And it still has that body wave in it, but it's not the body wave that was in the box. So instead of kind of doing that, we're going to add just a little texture, just a little bit. I used a little bit of heat protectant, some oil sheen, and then I also used a little bit of the freeze spray just to ensure that it would stay, because I'm going to run my fingers through this, and you don't want to end up in a place where it just doesn't, your hair, as soon as you're done, the wind blow and it's over. So I went through and did this through the whole head. The hair has great luster, and it's pretty thick. Like, this is an average thick. This is not, I wear 5 bundles in a frontal thick. This is, my hair happens to just, my real hair, not your fake hair, your real hair, happens to be a little bit more on the thicker side. And this is what this wig gives. So for me, I didn't mind the density at all. It was actually pretty perfect for what I was trying to do. It gave me the texture that I needed. The only downside about this unit is that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, my cap size was a small, and this for my hairline was a little bit too small. So I had to kind of cheat it when I install it on one side and then flip the hair on the other side, because the way the hairline was, it wasn't very much my friend, if you know what I mean. But that was more so of a cap size issue as opposed to a construction issue. The ends of this hair, I will say, was really nice. I've noticed in probably like the last year or so, a lot of my wigs, the ends start to get really, really bad after a while, that I'm seeing like more wear and tear, where it seems as if the ends are so thin, and I always end up trimming all my wigs anyway, if you guys were aware. I never leave them as they come unless I'm instructed to do so. And I'll mention that in the video. But if that's not the case, then I end up always making sure that the wig itself gets trimmed, because you want the ends of your hairs to not look all scraggly. And because these are being put in, and most companies unfortunately will pack the hair at the root and then let the hair at the ends get super thin, that once you get your hair done, it's like, yeah, my part is super thick, but the bottom of it is super thin. So I've always made a point to just give it a nice little trim to make everything look more uniform, because there's nothing worse than you walking around and your hair looks crazy at the end. It's like, oh girl, you might want to trim her. So yeah, so this is what it looks like after a while. She looks like she on her way to prom, you know, that whole thing. Ran my fingers through it just to give it a little bit of texture. Like I said, I didn't want it to just be flat. I love straight hair like the next person, but sometimes you get a little bored. And right now, I'm a lot of bored. So yeah. So here we're gonna take the Isha glue and the prep from the Janet collection. Some of my favorite glue, simply because it dries really quick, and this one is the one that's waterproof. So when it comes to sweating and stuff of that nature, you'll be able to get through all of this without your wig sliding back or even coming off. You have to use a remover with this particular glue, which I actually talked about in my Janet collection video. That's where I go in more in depth about the glue. But yeah, so you put it on like any other glue. You let it dry till it's clear, and then you go ahead and put it on. And as you can see my reaction here, my face was like, girl, she is not moving. So yeah. Yeah, like it's like, girl, she was not moving at all. So we just went in, put a little swoop on the side, give it a little bit more of some realism. And then here, cut her off some more. This had more of a widow's peak in it, and I cut it out because it just came too far down on my head. And this was it. This is some really cute, let's be cute moments with your hair. Like, girl, yes, I call this one Angela .2, but it looks really good, and I really do like it a whole lot. So if you guys are interested, hit the links below. Thank you guys for watching. I mean, she's cute. And I will definitely catch you in my next one. If you're looking for HD lace, try this for sure.